Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right in today because we've got to talk about a word that is, frankly, an absolute game changer for your spoken English. We are talking about the incredibly versatile modal verb could. Whether you're learning English as a second language or you just really want to polish up your professional communication, mastering this one single word is going to completely elevate the way you speak.
Okay, let's dive into this. Do you actually know the real use of could? I mean, a lot of folks just think, oh, it's the past tense of can, and, well, they just stop right there. But honestly, if you're only using it to talk about the past, you're missing out on the whole shebang. It's a tool for politeness, a way to offer great ideas, and a super subtle method for predicting the future.
To really define what could is, we've got to look at how it actually lives in everyday conversation. For those of you actively translating in your head right now, you probably have three completely different concepts for this one word in your native language. You might have one phrase that means was able to do something, another totally different phrase for asking nicely, like would you please, and a third word for guessing maybe or perhaps. The absolute beauty of English is that could elegantly covers all three of these meanings. It just feels right at home in so many different situations.
So here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. First, the magic of modal could. Then, the golden grammar formula. After that, traveling to the past, followed by politeness and seeking permission. Then we'll hit future possibilities and suggestions, and finally, a quick summary and a challenge for you. Section 1, the magic of modal could. What is it really? So, think of a modal verb as your friendly little helper. It steps in to help the main verb express a very specific mood or tone. And could? It's basically a communication superpower. It has 5 distinct, super easy-to-learn functions. You can use it for past ability, polite requests, permission, possibility, and suggestions. Mastering these 5 uses means you can navigate almost any social or professional situation with total confidence. Moving on to Section 2, the golden grammar formula, the V1 anchor. Now, what's really interesting here is that before we even look at the meanings, we need a totally unbreakable rule for building our sentences. It's foolproof. Let's build it piece by piece. Step 1 is always your subject. You know, I, she, or we. Step 2 is our magic word, could. Step 3 is your verb, but it absolutely must be V1, meaning the base, first form of the verb. And finally, step 4 is the object to finish your thought. Subject, could, V1, object. It literally is that simple. I really want to reinforce this V1 anchor. It's your absolute safety net. You know, a super common mistake is trying to change the verb tense after a modal. People think about the past and try to say, I could played cricket. No way. Actually, scratch that. Never, ever change that main verb. The formula demands V1. It's always, I could play cricket. She could sing. We could travel tomorrow. Lock that formula in your mind, and you'll never make a grammar mistake with this word. All right, Section 3, traveling to the past, past ability. Let's take a quick trip back in time. Imagine you're 5 years old, completely fearless at the neighborhood pool. You'd say, I could swim when I was 5, right? It just means you had that physical ability back in the day. Or maybe you have a friend who grew up in Paris. She could speak French as a child. It's a wonderful way to paint a picture of a past skill. But notice that last point on our timeline. We jump right to today. It could rain. We're going to explore exactly how this word jumps to the present tense in just a second. Next up, Section 4, politeness and seeking permission, the etiquette upgrade. Notice the contrast here. If you're at work and you ask, can you help me? I mean, it's fine, but it can sound a little blunt. It's very direct. Now, watch what happens when we swap just one single word. Could you help me, please? Do you hear that difference? Just dropping your tone a bit, softening your voice, and using could instantly upgrades your etiquette. It just makes you sound so much more polite and professional. Let's make this super practical. Imagine you're walking into your office building. You're balancing like 3 hot coffees in one hand, a heavy bag of groceries for the team lunch in the other, and you are struggling. You see a coworker up ahead. You wouldn't just bark, "Can you open the door?" Instead, you pull out our magic word. Could you open the door? It just completely removes that aggressive edge and makes the other person genuinely want to step in and help you out. So, the absolutely crucial point here is that asking for permission becomes completely friction-free when you use could. Think about these everyday workplace or school scenarios. Could I borrow your pen? Could I use your phone? Could I come in? Or, you know, everyone's favorite Friday afternoon question, could we leave early today? It perfectly shows respect for the person's authority while still clearly asking for what you want.
Which brings us to Section 5, Future Possibilities and Suggestions, Expanding Your Horizons.
This is where things get genuinely exciting. We're taking could out of the past and using it to expand your horizons right now. And this brilliantly illustrates the subtle difference between two awesome present tense uses. On the left, we have possibility. It could rain today. You're literally just looking at dark clouds and guessing what might happen. On the right, we have a suggestion. We could watch a movie tonight. You aren't predicting the future here. You're just throwing a fun social idea out to a friend. It's also the perfect way to give advice without sounding, like a bossy dictator. Take this idea. You could try studying earlier. Imagine saying that with the warmth of a really caring teacher guiding a student. You aren't ordering them around by saying, you must study. You're just gently laying a great option on the table and letting them choose to take it. And of course, we use it in conditional sentences. A conditional basically just refers to a possible result based on a very specific situation. It's cause and effect. If I had more time, I could help you. The help is the possible result, right? But it entirely depends on the condition of having time. If she practiced more, she could win. It is just a fantastic way to talk about potential and what it takes to reach it.
Finally, Section 6, Final, Summary, and Challenge. Your turn.
Let's move to this and see how it all builds together. Here is your ultimate cheat sheet. I highly encourage you to literally take a mental screenshot of this table right now for your everyday conversations. Look at how beautifully versatile this one word is. Past ability. I could run fast. Polite request. Could you help me? Permission. Could I come in? Possibility. It could snow tomorrow. Suggestion. We could go by bus. Conditional. I could buy it if I had money. All of that power in just one simple 5-letter word. So it's time to put that V1 anchor formula to the test right now. Here's my challenge for you. What could you do if you had more time? Think about it. Could you learn a new language? Could you travel more? Try mastering this single word, and for sure, you will dramatically transform the way you communicate.